That's your ad.
Yeah, I've heard it many times.
Hmm?
I've heard it a lot.
Good. I do try.
Well, I didn't know it actually plays in good hours too. So
Oh no, I do it on purpose. You're my client. So welcome back, everyone. Well, we just heard an ad for Pavers, and now I have with me the owner of that company. I have Mike Disrude, and he's the owner of Pavers and More. Welcome back to the show. You've been on a few times, and you know, when I first talked to you, you called me up and you said, Carol, I am the one to talk to about Pavers. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do and what makes you so different than anyone else.
well, mostly we are completely legitimate. We're licensed, bonded, insured. I've been doing landscaping in the valley since 1989. Been doing exclusively pavers since 2014. So we have a little bit of experience.
Well, we're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to be sharing the show afterwards. And what's really, really cool about him is you've got to see what he could do to your house. It can beautify your house in the most affordable way, and that's what I want you to explain to them, what the process is, why it's so important that they need someone like you who is experienced, because there's things that you do that other people might not.
Well, probably the most important thing is I actually know about construction and understand like the water and how it has to flow and where it needs to go. That's the most important thing with paver installation is it must be graded correctly. It must run the water away from your house. And that's the key thing, and I've got so much experience, it's very easy for me to make sure that's laid out properly.
Well, right now you might be seeing the way that your water is running. Either
Yes,
it's
a lot
towards
of
your
people
house or
will.
not right now. And not everybody has them, but they're absolutely stunning. And you can't believe it's something that you used to use in your house when you were younger to just put a television on. Now can beautify your home unbelievably.
Yes, definitely. And they're such a quality product. They're 8,000 PSI. They're probably 3 times stronger than the concrete that your house is built on. They last forever. There's really no maintenance to them. Just keep them clean, blow them off, sweep them off. But it's nothing you're going to never have to replace. It's not like a coating that's going to wear out or paint that's going to fade. It's there for good.
Now, he's valley-wide. He does free estimates, and he's licensed, bonded, and insured, and he specializes in pavers. The one thing that you have is a 650 square foot minimum. That's the only one requirement that there is. You got to check him out on his website, because when you see what they can do and what they look like, and they're not just plain, we're going to talk a little bit about them. Amazing, different colors, different shapes, and all sorts of stuff. You can check it out at paversandmorellc.com. You can also call him direct. His number is 602-550-0005. To me, I know that it's raining right now, but right now we're getting ready. Our season's coming up where you really want to, maybe you want to sell your home. Maybe you want to make more money on it, right?
Correct.
There's a lot of reasons why to use them.
Well, the biggest thing that's going to happen right now, this rain, everyone's kids and dogs are going to start tracking mud in the house, and they're going to have to finally start dealing with that backyard that they've been waiting to work on. So now is the time to do it. Get it ready for the good weather that's coming, and you'll be ready for summer.
So let's talk about the different types of styles that you have and what they look like.
Well, we have all different pavers. I use all manufacturers, but there's also beyond concrete pavers, there's porcelain pavers, there's artistic pavers, there's travertine in multiple styles and shapes and colors. So it's really a wide variance in the amount of materials that are available to be used. And there's a lot of different options in how they're laid in different patterns. So
now
very versatile.
Let's talk a little bit about how the bidding goes, because it's also all about that too, and what's involved with that. What's the process like?
Well, if you just give me a call or contact us through the website, you can fill out a form there. They'll give me all your information. I'll contact you immediately within 24 hours at the most, and then I will set up a time that's convenient for you. And I work any day of the week. Always 6 days a week, but if Sunday's your only day, I'll make it there for you, because it's about customer service.
So when you come out there, how do you do your bidding? You got to look at everything, right?
Yeah.
But most of it off, you have to find out how that water's running, right?
Correct. I look at the grades and stuff. All the yards when the houses are built are graded correctly, but then on a lot of existing homes, a lot of things have changed through the years as far as how the homeowners have done things, and most people aren't buying the new homes a lot now. They're buying these older ones, especially downtown, and fixing them up. So we would look at that, then we'll discuss different ideas, different styles, and then when you're comfortable with what you're thinking about doing, I will measure it all, and you'll leave. When I leave, you'll have a price. I don't play a game. I don't say, I'll be back. I go talk to someone. I don't have to ask someone what to charge you or figure out how much I can stick it to you because you drove a Mercedes. I come there and don't care what you drive, where you live. Everyone gets the same price.
And you're all about service.
Service is the only thing that matters.
And the number to call him direct is 602-550-0005. He's licensed, bonded, and insured. What makes him different is he specializes in pavers. It's all about the grading, he says. It's the most important thing. He does free estimates and valley-wide. Now, you can check him out on the website. It's Pavers and More, and is spelled out, so Pavers and More LLC.com, and the only requirement is the 650 square foot minimum. You're also Facebook, Instagram, and for social media, I know you have somebody that does all that for you.
Yes, my friend Peyton does all that. She makes sure all the pictures are up and current at all times. So there's always information out there for you to see.
Do you also do pools?
We do a lot of swimming pool remodels, and we also work with builders, and we also work with homeowners that have bought a pool. I can always save you money over what the pool builder is gonna charge for the deck because they're subbing it anyways. So we can do all materials on pools. If you have an old existing pool, we do those all the time too.
Now, he's been doing this since 1989, licensed, bonded, and insured, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call him at 602-550-0005, valley-wide. He, except for Maricopa, I know that you don't go there. And he does free estimates. The only thing is you want to make sure that it's 650 square foot. That's all he asks for. So let's talk a bit about you also. With when you work with somebody, you can do both the backyard and the front yard, right?
Oh yes, ma'am.
And anywhere else can you put them?
That's pretty much where they go on, front yards, backyards. We do a lot of driveways, a lot of big properties also, like up in PV and places like that where they have multi-thousand-foot driveways. There's a lot of people in North Scottsdale that have big lots that have circle drives that are all gravel. We fix those up and put regular pavers in there. So a lot of different options, a lot of different places to use them.
When you work with a client, because when they may not even realize what they the difference, all of the different choices that they have, right?
Oh yes.
Do you help them with making those decisions?
Oh yes, I bring catalogs with me, but also I'm more than happy to meet people at the suppliers' yards and show them products and stuff. So whatever it takes so that you know what you're getting. It's very critical that you see them live. You cannot pick from the catalog. I want you to have an idea of what you might want to do, but I ask that you please go and look at them live so you can see what they really look like.
I think most important for you to understand that this is the most cost-effective way that you can beautify your home, both front yard and backyard. My God, the driveway. I would love that. I'm sure it looks gorgeous. And when you go up on his website, I've been on there, you can see all of the different types that you have. It's so important for you to see them. I like the way that you're saying to them, don't just look at it at the catalog or just take it for that. You need to go look at them because I'm sure that once you see them, it's just even that much more beautiful, correct?
Oh, correct. It's like if you're putting tile in your house. If you're going to be spending money like that, you definitely want to see it.
You want to make sure.
You cannot look at one paver. You need to see a set amount, like 5 square foot, so you can really get a feel for what they're going to look like.
Check him out. He's all about servicing you. His phone number is 602-550-0005. Licensed, bonded, and insured. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He does free estimates, and it's all about the grading, guys. You want to make sure that somebody knows what they're doing. He's experienced at this, and you could check him out. All the different kinds of looks that he has that are absolutely stunning on his website. It's Pavers and more, LLC.com. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further about some of the different things that you could do and all the materials that he has and what it takes to install. You got to check it out. They're absolutely stunning. You won't believe it. 602-550-0005. We're going to continue talking because we are live still. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're still
I see what
live.
you're saying.
So I just want to ask you for your when someone comes and they have their free estimate with you. Well, what's the most favorite paver that you have? Do you have one?
Everybody goes with the 3-piece random, or not everyone, but that's pretty popular.
What is it? 3-piece
A
random?
3-piece random pattern.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it's usually because everything here's of the browns and tan colors. It's usually something along those lines. But then when you get into other products, there's a lot more options.
And so for you, when you do pools, let's talk a little bit about that. What's the process? I mean, obviously the best time to call you is before the pool's been built, but it could be done even afterwards.
Well, it depends on where you're at in it, you know, and if your builder will let you do part of that way. You know, I'm sure their salesman's going to push you to use their product, so
Okay.
it's just going to depend on who you're working with. Pools are very expensive nowadays for some reason, so a lot of people just can't afford them, so they're looking for better pricing and make it something that fits in their budget.
Hi, Solar Sandy here. There's never been a better time to go solar with Solar
Well,
Sandy.
let me think of something else that I want to ask you. I don't know if you want to.
for the radio.
What's that?
Let's save it.
Well,
for
we'll
the
have it
radio.
both. We'll do it both.
Oh.
We'll do it both.
Payments for 12 months.
That's why I
We'll
wrote
talk
this
about,
down.
maybe when we come back, we talk about like
And remember,
the heat, because that's one thing everyone BS's people tells them one's cooler than the other. And
The what?
the people lie all the time and go out and they tell the people, yeah, well, this paver's cooler or that's cooler.
Oh, the heat of a
The
paper.
heat of pavers, because that's what everybody wants to know.
Okay.
What if it's gonna be around my pool?
Okay.
And there just isn't
Okay.
enough of a difference that it really makes a difference.
Okay.
It's more
Well, we'll
about
talk about that.
service,
I'm
you
going
know.
to talk about the favorites. I'm just sort of
Yeah, I don't
adding.
wanna, I'm not gonna drop around here, but I use Phoenix pavers, but I don't wanna promote those.
Okay. Don't talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, ready?
Started with them guys, 'cause I'm not happy with any of the suppliers, period. It's none of them.
Okay.
So, sure not gonna give me free plugs.
Okay. I don't know who they are, so I don't know.
potential for ultimate financial freedom. Call 623-748-3920. That's 623-748.
So go do 2 bids today after this. It won't be rain. That's one thing about here, it's like it could be raining here, but it might not be
Right.
raining over
So you
there.
still have to go.
But I
But you
know-
can call and find out, right? Or you can look on
No,
your
I
phone.
don't bother, I just show up. Can't tell because it's just spread. And I'll bid a bid in the rain, why not?
Yeah, well, it's a bid. It's not doing the work. It does.
Yeah. You can talk about that too, if you want, working in the what, whether and why we don't. Any ways to kill time on it? Or fill time?
Welcome back, everyone. And we are talking with Mike Disrude. He's the owner of Pavers and More. It specializes in pavers. And at the break, we were talking a little bit about some more things that I never knew about. And that's what I love about my show. It's information for people. First of all, one thing I want everybody to know, Mike was just talking to me about, it's raining outside. And he has a couple of bids that he has to go to after the show. And he goes, you know what? I will go no matter what. Whether it's raining or not, he will work for you because he's all about service. Let's talk about that.
Yes, definitely I'll come out and do a bid, but in the same respect, I will not allow my guys to work. Even if it wasn't raining tomorrow, I'm probably not gonna let them work because you cannot compact the base material correctly when it's wet. You can get it done and it's gonna look like you got a great job, and guess what? Next big rainstorm, those things are all over the place.
But
So,
you will go and bid, you'll do whatever when
Yes.
people so that they can get to know. Because once you hear this kind of thing, it's all about first getting that bid, finding out, what that's going to cost.
Correct.
And I'm sure you have to figure out what it is that you want and all of that. The grading is super, super important. So he can come out and do that for you. But more than anything, I think that most people want to know is that you're really all about your clients. And I think that's something that's special about you.
oh, very much so. That's one thing that I think lacks here in this valley is service, so I strive to give it.
Now, you could call him direct. His phone number is 602-550-0005. Licensed, bonded, and insured. His website is Pavers and More LLC.com. He is valley-wide except for Maricopa. He'll do free estimates, and the only thing that he requires is a 650 square foot minimum. That's it. Now, I want to talk about something that was important to you to talk about, because you said a lot of people are concerned about heat and pavers.
Yes, that's probably the one question that everyone asks me, because someone's came out there and told them a story that, oh, this paver is so much colder than this other one. And I will tell you honestly, I've taken a heat gun and infrared gun, and when the concrete was 110 degrees, all the pavers ranged from 137 degrees to 144 degrees. It didn't matter if it was travertine, artistic paver, standard concrete paver, or what color. So at the end of the day, it's really not a concern so much the heat, because when it's hot everywhere.
Exactly. When it's hot, you're not stepping outside no matter what.
Correct.
You know, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I've seen things that they say that they're not so hot. Believe me, they're hot on your foot, on your bare foot.
Oh,
so you're
definitely.
always going to wear sandals most of the time, flip-flops, whatever it is outside. But you wanted to talk about that, so it's very important. I also asked you at the break what favorite what one that people usually pick, and you said what?
Well, a lot of people will go with the 3-piece random. That just seems to be common, probably because all the builders use, that's what they're usually putting in when they're putting the pavers in the driveways along with the houses. So it's just what everybody sees, so that's what they're used to. But there's a lot of other options out there too. I prefer a herringbone myself. I just like the look of it, but it's not for everyone in every application.
Well, the thing, first of all, is to go up online, right, and
Correct.
to see it. It's unbelievable what you see that these can do. Beautify your home at an unbelievable, affordable price. I want to talk a little about that, because you do talk a little bit about pricing on your website, and so I want to talk about yours, and because there's competitiveness out there, but you are probably one of the lower ones.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm very reasonable, especially for a licensed bonded person. The majority of people you will talk to probably won't even have a license. That's why I put the license number and the Register of Contractors website on the front of everything, because I ask people to please check it out so you do not get ripped off. That is probably the second biggest thing I get next to the heat. Everyone has a horror story about
Let's
getting
talk about
taken
that.
for
I
a
want to ask,
ride.
give me a horror story that's happened before.
Oh, multiple times. As people, they hired someone and they tell me what the guy hired, said he would do the job for, and it's so ridiculously low. It doesn't even cover the materials, and of course they give them a little bit, not half of it, and then they take that little bit and they go do their thing with it, bring a couple pavers there, and then they say, oh, we need a little more money so we can do more, and then they just keep them hanging out there, and at the end of the day they either don't finish, or if they do, it's probably not right in the first place. I get calls all day long for repairs.
Well, unfortunately, you want to make sure that when you're going to do something like this, you have that free consultation. It's an estimate.
Correct.
Is a consultation, but to work with what are the questions they should be asking you about?
They should be asking about the base material, what we're using, and again the grading. Another key thing that a lot of people just don't even think about, but I just always do, is sleeves for any kind of piping. Anything that has to go underneath the pavers needs to be in a larger sleeve than the size of the piping or wiring that's going through. So if there is an issue, it can be easily removed and repaired. You do not want to have to take up your pavers after they've already been down. And honestly, a job that's done right will never need repair and never move.
Now, his phone number to call is 602-550-0005. He specializes in pavers. He's licensed, bonded, and insured. He does free estimates. He works valley-wide except for Maricopa. You want to check out the website. It's Pavers and More LLC.com. He does, the only thing that he requires really is for you, the 650 square foot minimum. For you, well, let me ask you, when you're done must just love it.
Oh, definitely.
Tell me what it is like when you're working with a client.
Well, probably the biggest thing I see, especially in backyards and that, it makes the yard just look so much bigger, because a big key element of doing design work with landscaping is getting all your surfaces the same. You don't want to have a concrete patio and a brick patio and a little bit of fake flagstone over here, then some pavers over there, and then fake cool deck to spray on stuff on your pool. When you tie it all together, it just expands the size of your yard visually, and it beautifies it.
More so than anything, I think it makes it look so rich. When we say beautify, we really want to say it looks rich.
Oh, definitely, because at the end of the day, you're not going to live there forever. And when you go to sell that house, there's 100 more identical to your house. And when the people go to look at them, yours is gonna stand out because you're gonna have the professionally done landscape. It's not gonna look like the homeowner hodgepodged a bunch of stuff together, which is what I see all the time.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you about was the upkeep on it. It's like nothing, right?
No, there's really no upkeep on it whatsoever. I don't even recommend sealing them because most of the sealers don't last much more than a year and a half, 2 years at the max. So all you really got to do is keep them clean as far as just blowing them off, sweeping them if you feel like there's dirt on them and stuff. And if you need to, you can clean them with muriatic acid and water. So
again, he's valley-wide except for Maricopa, free estimates. And he says, most importantly, it's all about the grading. Tell him why.
The grading, because you do not want to have it running water to your house and bringing the termites.
And you certainly don't want floating pavers.
No. Well, pavers won't float,
if somebody, maybe not with that, but if somebody didn't do it right, you could have floating pavers, you said.
Oh yeah, after this rain here, there's going to be many people in this valley that have bought pavers this year in the last few months since it's rained last time are going to be sadly surprised at the puddles they have.
But you know what? Not yours.
No.
Use yours. You do it right the first time, and that's what you're all about, is
Yes.
making sure that you take care of your clients, doing it right the first time, making it affordable for you, helping you choose what's right or not right for you, choosing whether you want to do it for your pool, what you can do, even helping, even if the doing it beforehand or after, you could do it that way too. The only thing that he requires is a 650 square foot minimum. He's here to help beautify your homes, and right now, what a great time to do that, to get ready for that summertime. Licensed, bonded, and insured. He specializes in pavers. His number to call him at 602-550-0005. Also, his website is paversandmorellc.com. I've been on the website, and what I love, I really, really loved looking at all of the different designs and what you can do with them, because I did not know how much you can really do until I looked at it.
Oh yes, there's so many different products too. So much beyond the concrete paver. If you want a little more upscale look, there's the travertine pavers, and the top of the line, to me anyways, is the artistic pavers, which is a really finished, clean look. So a lot of different options, a lot of different styles. There's a lot of different design images you can do with it, and I've been designing landscaping since 1989, so I can give you endless ideas. I'm always happy to work with people.
And doing it will beautify your home in the most cost-efficient way.
Yes.
And you have some of the most best prices for a licensed, bonded, and insured paver person. I
Yes,
called
ma'am.
you a paver person. So again, we have a couple of minutes. What would be your final words for everybody out there?
Well, just again, make sure that if you're going to hire someone, they have that license. It's your only recourse. If you hire someone that's not licensed, and for whatever reason they disappear with your money, you're out of luck. If you hire a licensed contractor, that contract is your check. So if something happens to a licensed contractor and they disappear, you can bring that to the ROC and get your money back.
Well, he's licensed, bonded, and insured. He made it so important that he put it on the front page of his website. He wants everybody to know that he's a reputable company here in the Valley.
Yes, and I even have the paragraph out of the laws and stuff that explain how the whole system works with the buyback by the state if you get messed over by a contractor. So I do everything 100% legitimate on that.
He's all about that. He's all about servicing you, making sure that he is the most legit that you can find out there. He does free estimates. You got to check out the website. It is paversandmorellc.com. Call him direct. You're going to love it, especially when you see what he can do to beautify that home with the most cost-effective way you can possibly imagine. His number is 602-550 550-0005. It's all about the grading, folks. It also beautifies it in the most unbelievably way that you can possibly imagine. Give them a call today, 602-550-0005.